The day I became worth $500 million was the same day I lost my husband. Funny, isn't it? People think money gives you security. Money gives you loyalty. Money gives you permanence. But money doesn't keep a man who is already planning to leave. I remember standing in front of the mirror that morning, Manhattan's skyline glowing behind me. The contract sat on my marble dining table. One signature. That's all it took to change my net worth forever. But I didn't know. It would also change my marriage forever. My name is Amelia Carter. Before the penthouse. Before the interviews. Before Forbes. Before the $500 million. There was a tiny apartment in Ohio. And there was Daniel. We met at a coffee shop near campus. I was studying computer science. He was majoring in business, but spent more time dreaming than studying. He had that charm. That confident smile. That I'm going to be big one day energy. He used to tell me, "Amelia, you're the brain, I'm the vision. Together we'll be unstoppable." Back then, I believed that meant partnership. I didn't realize it meant I would build, and he would watch. We got married at 25. Small ceremony, cheap rings, big dreams. I coded software from our living room floor. He researched growth strategies from the couch. I worked 16-hour days. He said, "You're amazing, babe. One day this will pay off." And it did. But not for him. My company started as a financial AI tool for small businesses. Banks rejected me. Investors ignored me. Men in suits told me, "It's too ambitious." Daniel would squeeze my shoulder and say, "Don't worry. When you're rich, they'll regret it." 7 years later, they weren't laughing. The product exploded nationwide. Small businesses loved it. Revenue tripled every year. And then came the offer. A massive investment group wanted 60% ownership. The number? $500 million. When my lawyer slid the contract toward me in New York, my hands trembled. Not from fear. From validation. I had done it. Not us. Me. When I came home, Daniel was pouring wine. "I did it," I whispered. He smiled. But something behind his eyes shifted. He hugged me tighter than usual. Too tight. "You're different now," he said quietly. Different. Because I succeeded. Because I didn't need him financially anymore. That was the first crack in the glass. Her name was Lily. I didn't know it at first. I just knew Daniel suddenly had a new favorite coffee place. He started dressing nicer in the mornings. Started caring about his hair. Started guarding his phone. One evening, while he showered, his screen lit up. "Miss you already, Lily." My stomach didn't drop. It hardened. When I confronted him, he didn't deny it. "She understands me," he said. "Understands you. A girl who serves cappuccinos understands you more than your wife, who built a $500 million empire." That's when I realized. It wasn't about her being poor. It was about her being small. Small enough to make him feel big. 2 weeks later, he said it. "I think we've grown apart." Grown apart. Not I cheated. Not I fell in love. Just grown apart. Then came the real truth. "You don't need me anymore." That sentence told me everything. He didn't leave because I changed. He left because I became powerful. And power made him insecure. Daniel moved out thinking he would leave comfortably. But 7 years earlier, when we were broke, I had insisted on a prenup. He laughed when he signed it. Like we'll ever be rich enough for this to matter. It mattered. Everything we owned. Mine. The penthouse. The investments. The company shares. He left with clothes and pride. Both temporary. Media caught the story fast. Millionaire CEO, abandoned by husband for café worker. Headlines hurt. Not because he left. But because people pitied me. Poor rich woman. They didn't know something important. I wasn't heartbroken. I was awakened. Daniel moved into Lily's tiny apartment in Queens. No driver. No luxury gym. No fine dining. Love feels magical until rent is due. He tried to maintain the lifestyle he once had. But Lily made minimum wage. And he had no real career. See, when you depend on someone else's success for too long, you forget how to build your own. I didn't post revenge quotes. I didn't expose him. I didn't argue publicly. I worked. I expanded internationally. I launched a foundation for women in tech. I invested in startups. My name started appearing everywhere. The more he shrank, the more I grew. 8 months later, my phone rang. Daniel. I stared at it, then answered. His voice sounded tired. Can we meet? We met at a quiet restaurant. He looked older, less confident. Lily had left him. Turns out, she loved the idea of him, not the unemployed reality. I made a mistake, he whispered. I looked at him calmly. No, I said softly. You made a choice. He expected anger. He expected tears. Maybe even forgiveness. What he got was indifference. And indifference is colder than hate. I hope you find yourself, I told him. Then I left. No drama. No shouting. Just closure. A year later, I stood on stage in Lowe's Angels. Thousands of women in the audience. I told them, sometimes the person who leaves you is removing themselves from your destiny. Standing ovation. Not because I was rich, but because I was free. Last month, I saw him accidentally. Grocery store. He froze when he saw me. Like I was untouchable. Maybe I was. Because the woman he left was a wife. The woman standing before him was a self-made empire. He opened his mouth, then closed it. He had nothing left to say. And for the first time, neither did I. People think revenge is destruction. But real revenge is elevation. He thought he was leaving a woman. He was walking away from his future. And I didn't chase. Because queens don't chase. They rise. And sometimes, the greatest flex is watching someone realize they lost everything the moment they thought they were winning.